Hi everyone, welcome back to the US CPA classes for Financial Accounting and Reporting exam. In this video, which is part 3 of General Purpose Financial Statement, I'll be walking you through in detail about discontinued operation and exit or disposal activity. So let's dive into to understand more in detail about discontinued operation and exit or disposal activities.
And what is discontinuing operation?
Sir, basically, discontinuing operations are those which management has decided to close a particular set of operations or a line of business in the within next 12 months. That is treated as discontinued.
Yeah, or maybe like they have already discontinued, probably in current year. It's not required to be in next 12 months. It can be discontinued already or expected to be discontinued in near future. Right? So it can be the entire segment. For example, let's say HUL, right? HUL into the different verticals. So they are into soaps and shampoos, right? They are into FMGC product, right? And they are into, you can say, other than that, they are into beauty care product also, right? They are into skincare product also. And now they wanted to close a segment called beauty care, right? In which they are continuously incurring losses. So that entire segment can be considered as a discontinued operation. One is that. Second is, for example, like HUL, they have operations in, let's say, 80 countries. And in out of those 80 countries, in some of the countries, they are incurring huge losses. Let's say maybe in Europe, they are incurring losses because of, like huge capital investment requirement and, expensive labor cost. And then maybe like change in this petroleum pricing in the European market is impacting badly. And now they want to close their operation from European market. So that also being considered as a, you can say, market closure of the market as a discontinued operation. Make sense? Yes. No, right? Or third, maybe, like, for example, let's say a company like Honda, right? They are into car manufacturing services. They are into car manufacturing. And let's assume in earlier year, they manufacture the batteries also. And they sell the batteries as well, right? But this year, they thought to focus more on, continue to focus more on car segment. Because like battery segment is not their main business. And they wanted to discontinue that business. Even though it's a profitable, but they wanted to be more focused into their core business, right? So in that case of scenario, that battery business can be considered as a discontinued operation, right? Got it? What is discontinuing operation?
Yes, sir.
So discontinue operation, a company eliminate the result of operation and cash flow of a component. There is no significant continuing involvement required in that particular component, and the amount is always reported net of taxes. Right? If you remember this financial statement, right? Loss from the discontinuing operation is net of taxes. Right? Make sense?
Yes, sir. तो सर इसमें IFRS की तरह रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है कि मैनेजमेंट should have conveyed it कि भाई we are discontinuing this operation to
No,
the
those are requirement common.
अच्छा वो कॉमन ठीक है
Yeah, those are common requirement, whether it's an IFRS, IND-AS, or US GAAP. And
Okay.
now, if you see note number 22, so discontinued operation. Here they have given like what all activities they are discontinuing and why they are discontinuing. Business rationale also has been given, and what is their sales, purchases, payments, receipt, and what is the overall impact. So all the explanation and calculation has to be disclosed in the respective notes. Right?
Yes, sir.
So the amount must be reported net of taxes. Right? Then component can be segment, reporting unit, or group of asset also being possible, whose operation and cash flow are clearly distinguished from rest of the entity's operation as well as financial reporting purposes. Right? So there's an example here, or you can say illustration over here. James and John company had after tax income from continuing operation of $55,000 for the year. During the year, it disposed of its restaurant division at a pre-tax loss of $2,700. Prior to disposal, the division operate at a pre-tax losses of $4,500 for a year. Assume tax rate is 30%. Prepare a partial income statement of James and John. So income from continuing operation, they have $55,000, and discontinuing operation, losses from the operation, which is 2,700. One second. So it dispose of its restaurant division, dispose of. So this is like collection. But prior to dispose of, they have incurred a loss of 4,500. So 4,500 multiplied by 30%. How much is it?
For 1351.
4500 into 0.7 is 3150. Right? 1350 is the taxes. So losses, net of taxes losses is 3150. Right? Akash, Gurmehar?
लॉस में से टैक्स क्यों रिड्यूस कर रहे हैं लॉस पे क्यों
Like
टैक्स
no, from discontinuing operation, whatever you are showing in balance sheet or income statement is always be net of taxes. So this is your tax benefit.
हाँ ये टैक्स बेनिफिट होगा ना ठीक है तो नेट इनकम में टैक्स बेनिफिट नहीं ऐड करना चाहिए हमें
Say that again.
नेट इनकम में टैक्स बेनिफिट
It will go directly to retainer.
अच्छा ठीक है
Right? So loss from operation 4,500 minus 30% taxes is 3,150. Second thing is they have disposed of the restaurant division at $2,700. That means they have a disposal loss of capital item of 2,700 and net of taxes 1,890. Taxes is 810. So total loss from discontinuing operation is 5,040. Right? So income from continuing operation minus you can say
810 कहाँ से आएगा?
810 is 30% of 2,700.
2,700. Okay.
Right? Right?
Yes.
So this is how the net income is. Income from continuing operation, or you can say net income. After tax income from continuing operation, that means net income from continuing operation. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the exit and disposal activities? It may be include termination benefit, which you need to provide to the employees. Right? It may be the cost to terminate the contracts. It may be cost to consolidate facilities or relocate the employees, or it can be impairment loss or valuation of the assets. Right? So these are like the impact of disposal or exit activities. Exit and disposal cost would be the liability for an exit or disposal cost should be recognized at the fair value when the entity has little or no discretion to avoid the future transfer or use of the assets to settle the liabilities. Any changes in the liability should be measured using credit adjusted risk-free rate of interest that is used to measure the liability initially, and exit and disposal costs are included in the income from continuing operation, however net of taxes. Right? So far so good. What is disposal activities and what is discontinuing operation and how we need to make the treatment in the income statement?
यस सर सर बस जो अभी लास्ट में पैराग्राफ रीड करा एक बार थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर
Very simple. You know, that if you have to pay anything, for example, if you are discontinuing the operation, so there might be some contracts which you have already entered. Right? For example, you have entered into a contract with some contract laborers that I'll use your labor for 6 months. If I discontinued before 6 months, I'll pay you for 30 days.
Okay.
Right? If you have a rent agreement and if you are discontinuing the rent agreement, so there is some lock-in period. For that lock-in period, you have to pay the rent. Make sense?
Yes sir, yes sir.
So those are disposal cost and has to be valued at fair value.
Got it. ठीक है.
सर एक चीज पूछनी थी सर व्हाई वी आर मतलब लॉस के टाइम पे भी सर हम टैक्स क्यों कर रहे हैं मतलब इनकम के टाइम पे होना चाहिए ना वो तो
No tax benefits. There is a tax benefit on loss.
सर टैक्स बेनिफिट तो ठीक है लेकिन सर ये मतलब लॉस तो हुआ ही ना सर ठीक है टैक्स बेनिफिट मिल रहा है लेकिन
No,
loss
if
तो
you have a loss, that loss you can adjust against your taxable income. And if you are adjusting against taxable income, it will give you tax benefit. Let me do an Excel sheet.
हाँ सर वो आ गया समझ वो तो
For example, income from continuing operation, let's say you have $1 million, right? And you have loss from discontinued operation of let's say 300,000, right? So what is your net income? This minus this, sorry, is equal to this minus this, right? And let's assume 30% is the tax rate. So how much tax liability you need to pay? This multiplied by 3, right? So what they are saying, you need to do this multiplied by 3, right? And you need to disclose this minus this as your income. On the other hand, what you need to do, you need to do this 30% and then you need to disclose this minus this separately, and you will be disclosing the total will be this minus this. This is what they're saying. Let me explain. I know I did all this, but first, like you have income. Income is $1 million, right? Then you have losses of $300,000, right? So your total. So you have total income without tax effect, $700,000, right, Kashish?
Yes sir.
And on that you have 30% taxes. This multiplied by 3, sorry, 0.3. This is your taxes, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
what is your net of taxes income? 490, right? Are you with me, Kashish?
Yes.
But what they are saying, calculate tax on this separately, right? How much is it? $300,000, and calculate tax separately on this, right? And then disclose this income minus taxes separately and this loss plus taxes separately, and this will be your net income. So the disclosure is different. What end result is same,
Got it.
right? Gurmehav, Akash.
Yes sir.
Okay. So let's do some practice question. Question 1. On October 1, year 3, Washington INC committed itself to a formal plan to sell its Lincoln division assets. Washington estimated that the loss from disposal of asset in February of year 4 would be $25,000. Washington also estimated that Lincoln would incur operating loss of $100,000 for a period of October to December and $50,000 for a period of January and February year 4. These estimates were materially correct, right? Disregarding income tax, what should Washington report as a loss from discontinuing operation in its comparative year 3 and year 4 income statement? So first of all, what is the loss? Maybe let's do a math. So on October year 3, Washington INC committed itself a formal plan to sell the division, right? The estimated amount of loss from disposal of assets would be $25,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Disposal of assets in February. Estimated loss from. So I'll put it here, right? $25,000. Second, what it's saying, Washington also estimated that Lincoln would incur operating loss of $100,000 in year 1, in year 3, right? They are saying how much? $100,000 in year 3, right? And they are expecting $50,000 in year 4, right? So this will be year 4. Right? So these estimates are materially correct. So disregarding income tax, we're gonna like just leave the income tax aside. What would be the reported loss from discontinuing operation for year 3 and year 4? How much loss you will recognize in year 3? Will you recognize this 25,000 loss in year 3?
No. Washington.
Will you recognize 25,000 loss on expected from disposal or not?
No.
Yes,
No?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Why yes?
क्योंकि for discontinued operations या फिर asset जो dispose off करने हैं, for that we take fair value into consideration.
Yes. So you need to book impairment loss.
Yes, yes.
Right? So this 25,000 loss on sale of capital expected is considered. Second is operating loss of 100,000. So will you consider that 100,000 loss in year 3?
Yes, sir.
Right? Third is expected operating loss in next year. Will you consider that?
Yes, sir.
No.
क्यों
That is that is expected operating loss for the future period, which you can avoid also.
Okay.
Right? If you do not do any operation, then you can avoid that.
Okay. So basically only assets का ही जो मतलब fair value पे record हो रहे हैं उन्हीं का ही we will recognize.
No, you will be recognized current year operation loss plus the loss on capital item, which is impairment loss.
Right.
right? So 50,000 will be going second year, year 4, when you are actually incurring. So the correct answer is third. Kashish, Gurmehar, make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second question. On February 2, year 9, F Corporation Board of Directors voted to discontinue operation from frozen food division and sell the division assets on the open market as soon as possible. Right? That means assets are available for sale. The division report a net operating loss of 20,000 in January and 30,000 in February. On February 26, year 9, sale of the division asset result into a gain of $90,000. What amount of gain from disposal of business segment should F recognize in its income statement for 3 months ended March 31st, year 9? So what is the call of the question? What is the call of the question?
Sir,
Sir,
fourth है answer.
Anji?
Fourth answer लग रहा है.
gain from disposal, we have to identify how much is the gain from disposal.
How
That's
much is the gain?
Sir, 40,000 होगा ना?
How you have calculated 40,000?
Sir, 90,000 का तो gain हो गया. Operating losses जो जनवरी में और जो फेब में 50,000 के लिए अबाउट है. So 90 minus 50, that is 40.
sir 40,000 ही होगा.
Huh? 40,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then last question. Which of the following transaction qualify as a discontinued operation? Disposal of part of the line of business, planned and approved sale of the segment, phase out of production line, or change related to technological improvement. Which of the following transaction qualify for discontinued operation?
Sir, part of the line of business तो ये होगा तो sir पूरा ही होगा.
Which one?
First one is not correct. नहीं है sir.
Okay. Second?
Phasing out of production line नहीं sir, ये भी नहीं होगा. और change related technological तो होगा नहीं. Second लग रहा है sir.
कौन सा?
Second sir.
गुरमेहर, आकर्ष.
सर फर्स्ट लग रहा है मुझे तो.
Sir, first होगा sir.
Why?
Sir,
तो 3 लाइन ऑफ बिजनेस हो.
You need to select the best right answer. I know there may be some answer which is right, but you need to select the best right answer.
Sir, first और second में थोड़ा confuse है.
Why phase out of production line is not?
Planned and
sir third होगा.
approved.
Sorry, पूरी production line when we are discontinuing तो वो discontinued operations का part होगा. Sale of नहीं यार, sale of
Why not change in technology?
तो टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज को डिसकंटिन्यूएशन थोड़ी ना.
discontinue नहीं हो रही वो तो ठीक है. dispose और part of line of business भी नहीं होगा जब तक
पार्ट
हम
भी नहीं होगा सर. पार्ट थोड़ी ना करेंगे तो सर पूरा ही करेंगे ना.
Correct. part is not second or
सेकंड
third
ही लग रहा है. सेकंड ही है सर. सब
segment.
प्लान की तरह सब प्लानिंग के से हम सेल करेंगे एक ऑपरेशन को,
वो
तो
तो
सर वही
approved भी है
डिसकंटिन्यूएशन
सर.
होगा ना. प्रॉपर से सेगमेंट ही हमने सेल कर दी तो ऑब्वियसली सर वो
Hmm.
धंधा ही नहीं रहा तो फिर वो क्या
Why not third? Phasing out of production line. What do you mean by phasing out of production line?
sir production line
सर
phasing out.
प्रोडक्शन लाइन को क्लोज करना होता है बेसिकली.
Phasing out of production line.
Sir, basically, I think phasing out means कि it is being substituted by a new type of production line,
Yes.
right? तो इसलिए
So which option is correct?
second.
Right? That level of analysis you need to do. Right?
Right.
And if you remember, like discontinuation of operation required a proper plan and approval from the management.
करेक्ट, यस
सर ये लाइनें पढ़ी तो थी, एक बार दिखाना सर, ये कहाँ पे थी ये वाली?
I think we might have studied some, or maybe we have just discussed. So I can write that. I can add one-liner
हाँ
here.
सर वो लिख दोगे तो बेटर है।
Okay, so maybe like we can take a break over here for today's class, and next class we can start with statement of comprehensive income. But I'll send you, like, these notes are ready, so I'll send you these notes so you can take a look.
यस सर।
यस
Right?
सर,
Okay, so next class we'll be starting with this other comprehensive income, statement of change in equity, and other financial statement disclosure, notes to accounts part, right? And then we'll jump onto the consolidated financial statement. Okay.
Oh,
So by the
okay.
meantime, you can
Okay.
start doing practice of these topics which we have covered so far. And if you have any question, so that also you can cover in next class.
Okay, sir. Okay.
ओके
Cool.
सर,
Okay, enjoy rest of your weekend. And please do some practice. If you come up with some question, then it will be really good for everyone.
श्योर सर, श्योर।
Yeah.
Okay, bye.